was walking down the street, feeling kindly, when the wind came out your butt, threw my wig off. Oh, it was a sight to see. My hair flying in the breeze, 'cause the wind came out your butt, threw my wig off. People started laughing, they couldn't believe their eyes, as my wig flew through the sky. Oh, what a surprise. I tried to catch it, but it slipped right through my hands, 'cause the wind came out your butt, and now somewhere in the land. Oh, wind came out your butt, threw my wig off. Baby, you tried like shit. Did you see the car that you almost hit? I'd rather take the bus instead. Riding with you, I'm gonna end up dead. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you tried like shit. She just ran through always stop. I ain't trying to get stopped by the cops. Baby, why the hell did I let you drive? It's a miracle that you're still alive. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you drive like shit. Oh, 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 oh. Look out, my girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. My girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. Heard you think you're tough. Gotta let you know I will fuck you up. I whoop that ass, talking all that shit, spank that ass till you down like a bitch. No, I ain't playing. I'm here to get that. Whoop that ass, it's time to punch face. I'm the one who brings you pain in the ring. I whoop that ass until the bell rings. Already know that I do not play. Throw a box like I'm cutting down hay. I whoop that ass every single night. Spank that ass till they stop the fight. I'll tell you the story of a man, a radioactive gift in his hand. His hand was 10 times his normal size to help him get his money on time. He knew if the bitch was telling a lie, which was 100% of the time. Superpowers to make a bitch listen and get her naked with sex-ray vision. Keep a police station in a single bound, slapping bitches down to the fucking ground. His name was famous across the land. They called him the pimp named Superhand. Oh shit, yeah, his pimp named Superhand. He had powers no other pimp had. Oh fuck yeah, pimp named Superhand. That motherfucker was Superman. Asking for dinner ain't asking for much. You had one job and still fucked it up. Sometimes you gotta learn respect. I use my gift hand to correct. It's called a bitch slap. Come get your bitch. of your hair? Who taught you to heat the color of your skin to such an extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad does he eat sheep, you should ask yourself who taught you to hate being what God gave you.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Glad to have you in the building one more again. I am your host, School for Justice, here where we conquer police brutality, live, love, laugh, and rise above the occasion. As you come on into the building, smash that like button. I'll be glad to have you and will respond to all of your comments. And tonight, we have a 15-year-old, a teenager, attacked by a police officer in Ohio for walking down the street. So come on in, join me. Welcome, welcome. And glad to have you again. Get your popcorn, get your wine, get whatever you may need. Relax, and let's jump on in the topic.
City leaders in Toledo, Ohio are demanding that charges be dropped after a 15-year-old girl was forcibly thrown to the ground Friday by a Ohio police officer. Y'all, she was jaywalking. Cell phone video on the Instagram media mother show police questioning her before the situation escalated, resulting in her detention. On Tuesday, the Toledo Police Department released body camera footage showing the interaction between the officer and the teenage girl. The officer claimed the teen spat on him during the incident. The police department released over an hour of body cam and dash cam footage. Here's the officer's body cam video from the time he stopped the teen to the time he put her in the police car.
All right, y'all. So we're jumping into the actual footage. You see it has went viral. We're in Ohio tonight. So let's check out those state laws and let's see what went down here during the actual interaction. Smash that like button for me. I greatly appreciate your support, and let's continue to speak truth to power.
Go ahead and stop. Come up here to the front of the car, ladies. Go ahead and hop on over here to the front of the car, ladies. We'll talk to you in a second. All right, you guys are walking down the middle of the road. That's why we stopped you, okay?
Oh, so we're not supposed to walk in the street? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep, you have to walk on the sidewalk. It's also a safety thing. People in Toledo don't know how to drive. Okay? How old are you guys?
Y'all are in Toledo. Y'all know how Toledo people drive.
I don't. I don't even live here.
You're pretty bad.
Well, I live in Indiana. I'm just down here visiting my friends.
How old are you guys?
15.
Have you always said in Northern? Are you a recent?
Sorry.
How old are you? 18. You don't have an ID on you?
Almost.
Any of you guys have IDs on you?
I mean, I have my school ID at home. I don't know.
You ladies live around here? All right, well, I need names. Which one?
All right, so he's catching them for jaywalking. He said that's his reason for approaching them. That jaywalking is unsafe. It is a crime there in their county and in state laws. Then he asked them how old they are, which shows he's aware they are minors. He asked the question first for a reason. Okay, let's understand that first for a reason. Now he wants identification. You know, well, we may have ID, my school ID on me. I might have one at home. So he knows there's minors. He sees they are minors. Now he wants personal information, personal info. All right, your date of birth, you know, social, all this and all that. So he can what? Run their name, willingly knowing they're a minor. So this is what's going down right now. And it's three young ladies. All three of them are friends. and all of them are 15 years old. Minors, underage, and teenagers. So, all right, we're going to fact check this. We're going to fact check it step by step, play by play, move by move. All right, share your thoughts with me as you come on in and view the content.
My mom.
Let me get your last name. You.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
And we skip the ad.
Understand the issue.
Pulled us over.
Basically, we just walked.
First name. All right, first name.
Why is my mom not answering?
First name. I'm gonna ask you one more time, and I'm gonna take your phone and put you in handcuffs.
So you're threatening to take their personal belongings, their cell phone, and threatening to put them in handcuffs? Because they're not required to give you their personal information. They're on the phone calling their parents. That's what they're doing. And they're saying getting pulled over for walking down the street. Okay, so now he's threatening to take their phones and put them in handcuffs because they won't answer his questions. Again, it's a power grab, folks. This is a power grab. We're going to learn to divide and conquer. We're going to learn it's the divide and conquer.
Your first name.
I just told you.
You can do without the attitude. You just gotta answer my question. What's your date of birth?
Why is my mom not answering? What's the? I don't understand
Your
the
birthday.
issue, though. Call your mama. What the hell?
And what?
And she did just tell you. It's not an attitude. And even if it is, it's not illegal. You're not her parent. She's not required to honor you or give you the utmost respect. So she was right. I just told you. And she repeated it. Even though she was not obligated to give you that information. And they're doing right by contacting their parents or getting an adult on the scene as soon as possible.
I have to call my dad, somebody.
Be running for it. Like,
What's your birthday? To
No, we
what
have
year?
to talk to them for. We're minors. That's what I'm like.
All right. You don't want to answer questions.
What is your guy's like? What is his issue? What is your
I'm asking you. Get your hand out of your pocket. Don't resist.
018.
You better stay back.
A total attack. So he decides to just points one of them out, single a young lady out who never even spoke to him. You never really had a conversation with her. You had a conversation with her friend, the first lady we seen in the rose, pink, purple looking color. So the first young lady we saw, that's who you were conversating with. And now you just reach out and make physical contact and put hands on this minor. So this is what's going on, an assault right now in the moment. Smash that like button and show me your thoughts.
Stand back.
Don't do that!
Stop resisting.
Fucking do it! What is he doing?
Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
I'm fuck you up.
Back
Now, after you just attacked this teenage young lady, this minor, now you're assaulting her and telling her stop resisting. Resisting what? Enforcing her, saying, place your hands behind your back. The young lady is scared. She's terrified. Her friends are trying to help her and say, get off her, leave her alone. They don't know what to do. They're children. Share your thoughts. And what do you see is going on in the moment according to the police officer's actions?
Stand up. Stand up. all over me.
Keep him on it. Step up. Stand up. Stand her up.
And if she did a spit on you, that's what your ass get. After you attacked her, after you grabbed her, reached out, put hands, and slammed this child to the ground, and is physically hurting her, assaulting her, this is a crime on a minor. And if she did, because the body cam doesn't show that, but if she did spit on you, that's what your ass get.
Stand up.
Oh my God!
Don't spit on me again.
My baby is the girl! Oh my God! It's so important! Oh my God! The fuck up! You don't got that bad number?
Welcome to the GED Academy. My name is Leonard,
And
I'm
we
gonna be your
will
personal teacher.
skip the ad.
Folks, she was charged with resisting obstruction and harassment with a bodily substance, charges that she denied in court on Monday. The officer has been reassigned. This is WTVG-TV's website. This is what City Councilwoman Venice Williams said, quote, I saw the dash cam. I heard the baby cry out. Go to my iPad. This officer should not be on the streets. I feel for his safety and our safety. This is not me saying that the police are not needed in our community. We need you to work with us to save our babies and not beat our babies. I want all the charges dropped for this young lady, all of them.
And so we see an eyewitness, an adult speaking out that the officers are not protected and serving, that everybody's unsafe, including our children. And if he wants to lead to set the example, he can teach them and have a talk with them about what jaywalking is and why it is important to abide by the laws, why it can be unsafe to walk in the middle of the street or walk when the traffic light is red or yellow through traffic. But they were not on a highway or a busy intersection. They were basically walking down a residential street near the sidewalk. So this is a comment by eyewitness, an adult.
Because this could have been prevented. Panel Rob Patillo, civil rights attorney, the Patillo Law Group out of DC, out of Atlanta, Rebecca Crothers, president CEO Fair Election Center out of DC. I have no idea why she's wearing that trash today. I don't know what the hell she's doing wearing a Cowboys hat on Jackie Robinson Day. He Lord have mercy. Brian Shapiro, he's the host of Pushing the Limits. Glad to have y'all here. Robert, this is the shit.
And by the way, go Cowboys.
Pity. This is real simple. Ladies, you're walking in the street. I need y'all to walk on the sidewalk, okay? You're not allowed to walk in the street. That's it. There was no need to give names and birthdays and stuff along those lines. Robert, you're on mute.
Sorry. Yeah, this is where we got to start putting some real effort into how we are actually recruiting and training these officers. What we saw.
So just to reiterate, this is our civil rights attorney. Civil rights attorney, speaking of our rights, amendments, constitutional freedom and laws. And so they're in the state laws as well and common laws. So we can know, what's legal and what's binding, our due process and our rights to exercise. We rightfully deserve that.
During the Obama administration was the format for 21st century policing, where we had actual trainings for law enforcement officers. How do you de-escalate a situation? That was a classic example. You can actually take that video and use that as an example of exactly what police officers should not do and how to escalate a situation to make it dangerous for everyone. It was a simple situation of girls walking in the street. And these were two 15-year-old white girls. I doubt they will be all around in handcuffs at the end of that interaction. However, because we now have this militarization of our police departments nationwide, we no longer have a Justice Department that we can count on that will step in and actually prosecute these officers. We have a president who is now telling people, don't take it easy on folks. They want to bring these militarized, tough on crime, Nixonian tactics towards our streets. We are seeing this increasingly, not just in this, but in incidents around the country where police officers have this John Wayne mentality when it comes to dealing with African Americans. The idea.
Exactly, folks. It's a power grab. and they're being initiated and encouraged to do abuse of power, to hurt innocent people, to make our children unsafe, to commit crimes to citizens themselves. This is saying right is wrong and wrong is right, when good is bad and bad is good. They're being encouraged to be thugs, to be gangsters, to be criminals. It's like the mob, and disrespect people and our rights of protection. And these are children, folks. So we're going to continue to watch and see what the civil rights attorney has to input. Share your thoughts and smash that like button.
Of childhood or adolescence or teenagerness goes out the window for Black folks in this country. You are seen and considered with this concept called age estimation. They treat you like a grown person. They don't see 15-year-old little girls. They see somebody who's a danger, somebody who they need to investigate, someone they need to stop, someone they need to frisk. And as we see in this situation, it's only going to escalate. And this could have gotten a lot worse.
But he recognizes, the officer, he in quotes, that they were minors because the first thing he asked them was their age. We could go back to the beginning of the content, fact check, and we remember and we witnessed and recall that he asked them, how old are you? All of the children said 15. So he's fully informed and aware, without running their name, without receiving identification or getting personal info on the children, that they are minors.
And for the city councilwoman, I'm glad she spoke out, but we need to stop kind of coddling these officers and being afraid that somebody will call us, defund the police or soft on crime, etc. These officers need to be off the streets for a very long time. They need to be retrained on how do you handle situations in communities. They need to understand how to de-escalate. And if we had a functioning justice system, this police department should be sued.
They need to learn how to de-escalate. That the police department should be sued for violating rights and committing harm to minors and children. They need to be defunded. We wonder why. Defund the police. I'm pointing it out, bringing it to the light, exposing the darkness to the forefront, that we have to rise above the occasion in order to overcome it.
And the family should recover from this. But is what we're dealing with in the atmosphere we have right now, they're making it very difficult for us to see any type of criminal justice reform or any type of damages for crimes committed by officers.
I just really have no understanding of how walking in the middle of the street, hey, ladies, I need y'all to stay on the sidewalk, escalates into slamming somebody down and handcuffing them, Rebecca.
I can tell you why, Mr. Martin. Roland, because he decides to attack. It's a power grab. You didn't do what I said do. And the children were informed that they were not obligated. They were informed of their rights, and they were calling their parents out there on the scene. So that's how it escalated, because the officer got violent and physically attacked this teenage child. To answer your question,
I just don't. And again, this is, so you didn't like the attitude, so you're arresting them because of an attitude.
Yes, but the attitude was not, he claimed the attitude didn't come from the child that he actually attacked. If we go back and relook at the body cam and the footage, he attacks a different young lady than the one he said had an attitude, but you can lose the attitude. And she said, I just told you my date of birth. But he attacks a different individual, a different teenager. That wasn't the one he actually abused and slammed to the ground and roughed up as this overgrown big man is on this little girl, because she is a child, a minor. And he physically harms her and hurts her. So that's what we're witnessing. Y'all share your thoughts. I can see your comments, and we can definitely do commentary. Thanks for your support.
Having an attitude is not an arrestable offense. If this particular person...
Say that again, cowgirl. My cowgirl, Miss Lady. Having an attitude is not a crime. It doesn't stand grounds for an arrest warrant. And those were minors. So he knew when he ran their name, they didn't have any warrants on them. It's called a petition So let's learn our law, School for Justice. If there is a quote unquote out on a minor, is actually called a petition. And they will be served, or the parents will be served, that their subpoena for the courts are to incarcerate the child. It actually wouldn't even show up in the system that it's a warrant. So you can say that again, Miss Lady, that having an attitude is not legal grounds for an arrest, nor is it a crime. And the officer is fully informed of that. He's aware. These people are dark folks. They're dark, and we have to expose them with truth and with the light in order to rise up.
Person cannot handle dealing with children, dealing with teenagers, and they shouldn't have a gun and a badge. And I hear law enforcement officers across the country, they'll say this is a tough job, it's a demanding job, it's stressful. Well, guess what? It's one of the few jobs where you really can't make mistakes because you do have a gun and a badge. You do have the lawful authority to take property, to restrain people, and to even take a life. Just like I wouldn't want my surgeon who's doing surgery on me to have a high rate of making mistakes. We ought to demand greater and more from law enforcement.
Simple. I only pay $10 a month for my internet connection. Fast, unlimited, anywhere. Have you heard about Ryoko Pro?
Brian.
Yeah, let me just start out by saying this. I'm not so sure if those young girls had the same skin color as me, that would have happened. That's not going without saying that some police officers don't do bad things to white people too, because they do. What the hell was that all about? All you have to do, anybody with common sense would say, hey, ladies, can you please do me a favor? Please don't walk in the streets. And that's it. There's no confrontation. Why are you?
And just to reiterate on the young lady who spoke previously before him, when she spoke on, we can rewind it back just a tad, so I did have to skip the ad for a second.
Want my surgeon who's doing surgery on me to have a high.
Yes. So she's exactly right. That is a high responsibility. A high responsibility in that position. You have lives in your hands, in the palm of your hands. And so we have to be sharp, very well trained, very well in tuned, equipped, qualified. It's crucial to people's lives and livelihood that this is an extremely high responsibility, as if being a doctor or a surgeon, as she said, and people's lives are in your hands. We're fully aware of this. Or being a judge, people's lives are in your hands. So everybody doesn't qualify. Everybody doesn't fit in. So I just want to reiterate on what she said. She's exactly right. This is an extremely high responsibility. And as the gentleman says here, if they were 3 white young girls, if they were 3 Caucasian teenagers, we don't believe it would have went down like this way. We believe it would have had a total different outcome. And so we're going to continue hearing the gentleman continue speaking.
Just don't do bad things to white people too, because they do. What the hell was that all about? All you have to do, anybody with common sense would say, hey, ladies, can you please do me a favor? Please don't walk in the streets. And that's it. There's no confrontation. Why are you asking them for their IDs? Why are you asking them for their names? That's an officer, that's not a power trip. Racist officer. And okay, so the 15-year-old doesn't answer you immediately, doesn't give her name to you immediately. You put her in handcuffs? I mean, are you effing kidding me right now? That officer is back.
No, sir, they're effing crazy. And you're right. They do the same thing to white people, but they label them in different categories. They're called poor, WHITE, trash. That's what they label them as. Pretty much equivalent to blacks. So you're correct on that, because I cover a lot of content where they do it to their own people and label them in certain categories. So that's what's going on.
On the streets? I mean, how could this guy still have a job? This stuff gets me so angry. And, you know, I think about the George Floyds. I think about the Ahmaud Arbery's. I still talk about that case all the time. When some people that have my skin color say systemic racism doesn't exist, those people are what I call morons. That officer should, at a minimum, suspended without pay. That's at a minimum. I think he should lose his job. How traumatic for that 15-year-old girl. By the way, I heard spit at him. I should say, hypothetically speaking, she did. Okay, I don't condone that. But how did we get to that point to begin with? These people are supposed to be professionals. You're dealing with 15-year-old kids. That officer's life was never in jeopardy. These officers have no idea how to handle things in a de-escalation way. I think most officers wouldn't behave that way. But the fact that this guy still has a job, we have a problem in our society. And while all
Exactly, sir, because he was just reassigned to a different county. That's what we got going on. He's still out there on the force, and they are fully aware of what they're doing. These people have a corrupt character, and it's abuse of power, and it's a power grab. That's what time it is. Share, share, share. Thanks for joining. And come on into the building. Smash that like button, and we shall subscribe.
this is going on, there are people that are calling for the pardon of Derek Chauvin, who murdered George Floyd. Let's just call that for what it is. Now, I'm glad it didn't escalate to that point. But as you said, Roland, I was thinking exactly what you said to start this segment. All that officer had to do, hey, ladies, can you please do me a favor and move along to the side of the road and go on the sidewalk? Now, if they don't listen to you after you tell them to do that, then you ask for their names because they're not doing what you're telling them to do. But why did it even come to that point in the first place? What a waste of tax.
Or you contact their parents. You can give really the parent is responsible for their minor child. So you can find the parent or give them a ticket. Jaywalking is a ticket. That's nationwide, all over the country. But how about teach the children a lesson? Show them you care and encourage them and guide them in the right direction in life. And teach them why it's important and how it's unsafe to commit this behavior. You know, everybody's not great drivers. You know, accident can happen. You can get hurt. You can get hit. Have a conversation with them. And children have innocent intuitions, and they know when someone is seeing about their well-being. Someone cares. Someone is teaching them, helping them, guiding them, has a heart, and they will respect you. They will respect. It was that simple. But no, your true demons came crawling out. Your true colors came shining through.
Taxpayer dollars, as far as I'm concerned.
This is what the police report said. This is a report in the Toledo Blade. The officer, quote, closed the gap between his body and the girl's body and utilized a balance displacement takedown technique to stop the girl's active resistance and to obtain compliance to place her into handcuffs.
We witnessed with our own eyes, people. There was no resistance. There never was a resistance. There was an attack. So this is the bogus police report that we have on file. Let's read.
The officer, quote, then used joint manipulation on her left arm to gain control of her left arm, placing her into handcuffs. And then it says when the officer helped the girl up, she spit in his face. Got for two young girls walking in the middle of the street. And then people wonder why folks yelled, defund the police. And they wonder why communities, Black communities, brown communities don't like cops. Exhibit 20,578. I'll be going
to real quick. This is also why police reports are not admissible in court, because we all saw exactly what happened in the video. And
you can say that again, why people defund the police. This is exactly why. And they're not admissible in court. All right, let's continue to fact check.
See what the report says, and they very rarely match up. We have to start holding officers accountable for lying on police reports by using flowery language. This is why these body cam cameras are so important that came about in the last decade, because we can finally have a non-biased accounting of what happened as opposed to whatever they write in the report.
Why does it feel like we're going backward? Voting rights under attack, schools stripped of funding, Black history erased. This is the Trump MAGA agenda. They want to take us back. They are redrawing congressional lines in states across the country, deciding who gets power and who gets silenced. We see what this is, a power grab. Virginians won't be fooled. Show up, vote, take back our power. It's a temporary measure that gives the people, not politicians, the final say. Vote yes by April 21st.
Y'all, it's a money grab. That's what we got going on. It's the power grab. It is a power grab. And so it's being brought to the forefront with these innocent children. One was abused and the victim of abuse and attack, and the other were eyewitnesses. And so I always bring it to the forefront that we're here at School for Justice to live, love, laugh, and rise above the occasion to conquer police brutality. And this is why I stand on law and order. Share your thoughts, share your thoughts. Shout out to Lackluster, to Audit the Audit, Georgia Tech, all my colleagues, all my students, and thank you so much to the panel and you all for supporting. And until next time, I am your host, School for Justice, where we always speak truth to power. Salute.
It's never been easier to start a podcast than with Riverside.